And hello again, my little mathematicians. Today we're going to be doing E-20, or page 6 in your packet, where we are doing some more practice with finding the surface area of different 3D shapes. If I take a look at this first one, okay, this is a prism. So here is your top and bottom. Okay, and your top and bottom has what measurements? Well, this is the same as this, so 10 by this is the same as this, which is the same as this, so 3. So base times height, which is 10 times 3, is 30. So this is 30 centimeters squared. Okay. And since the top and bottom are the same, you know that there's going to be 2 that are identical like that. Okay. We also have our front and back. Okay. So the front and back, it's 10 by 5. So base times height, which is 10 times 5, and that is 50 centimeters squared. And there's another one that's also 50 centimeters squared. So here's your top and bottom, and it has 4 sides, so you know that there should be 4 more rectangles coming off of it. There's 2. Where are my last 2? Well, we found the top and bottom, the front and back. We missed the left and right side. This is 3. And then this is the same as this, so 3 by 5. And that's base times height, which is 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay. Go ahead and add all those together, and you get 60 plus 100 plus 30, which is 190, and your unit was centimeters squared. Okay. You can go ahead and like draw it out separately if you want like that, and then see that these 2 are the top and bottom, these 2 are the front and back, and these 2 make up the sides. And you can double check yourself, top and bottom, 4-sided figure, so there should be 4 more rectangles coming off. Okay, but if they ask you to do it by the net drawing, this is actually doing it by the net drawing right here. Okay, and so you'd actually need to draw out the net figure where they're all connected instead of individually drawn out. Okay, and then sometimes that's actually helpful because you can make sure that you didn't do a random number, like they'd have to come off in a sequence that makes sense, but you'll still get the same answer. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this one. This is a triangular prism. Okay, I know it's a prism because this comes to a point, right? This doesn't come to a point like that, so it's a prism. And a prism has rectangular sides, so anytime you see something that isn't a rectangle, I know that that's my base shape. So this triangle right here must be my base, okay? So I have 2 triangles, because it's a prism, so it has to have 2 bases. And a triangle has a formula of base times height divided by 2. So I need my base shape. Look for that little indicator of a right angle. And your base has a length of 24. And then your height right here is 10. So that is 24 times 10 divided by 2. And 2 goes into 24 12 times. 12 times 10 is 120. Okay, and that is the same as the bottom. So I have my 2 bases. Now my base shape is a triangle, which means it has 3 sides. So I'm looking for 3 different rectangular sides coming off of that figure. So I see this back rectangle right there. And that back rectangle has a measurement of 50 by 24. Actually, no, 24 is right here. It's actually 26, huh? Because this is the actual shape of my parallelogram. So it's 50 by 26. Okay, so base times height is 50 times 26. Go ahead and plug that into your calculator. And 50 by 26 is 1,300. Okay, that was one of my rectangles. I still need to find two more. Well, my other one is right here. If I can see it in the front, right there. That's the 50 by 24 one. Okay, so 50 by 24. Okay, base times height is 50 times 24. And when you plug that into your calculator, 50 times 24 is 1,200. And as you can see, like I almost messed up on the back one that it had a measurement of 24 instead of 26. So it's actually more helpful sometimes rather than drawing out separately if you draw them connected in the net drawing. And then this back rectangle right here must be my third one. So this is 10, but what's this? Well, this is the same as this, so it's 50 again. Okay, so you have base times height is 50 times 10, okay, which is 500. So go ahead and add 120, 120, 1,300, 1,200, and 500, and you will get your total surface area of 3,240, and it was centimeters squared. Now these were prisms because they have the same top and bottom. This is a pyramid, so let's skip it for now, and let's look at this guy right here. Well, this one, it doesn't have like a bunch of triangular sides, so I know it can't be a pyramid because it has rectangular sides, but maybe they made a mistake and it's actually one of those that you say, not a solid, but unfortunately it is. We're gonna have to solve it because if it has rectangular sides, we know it's a prism, and this right here must be your base shape, right? So it's a triangular prism. It has three sides, so it should have three rectangular sides coming off of it. And they actually already drew out the net shape for me, so that's nice. But let's kind of just do the triangle off to the side because that's base times height divided by 2. So that's a 2 by 4. So 2 times 4 divided by 2. That's 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So this has an area of 4, which means this has an area of 4 as well. Okay. And then if you notice, you see all these little tick marks right here. That means that everything with a 1 tick mark is the same measurement, and everything with the 2 tick marks is the same measurement. So this box right here is 4 times 4.5. So go ahead and type that into your calculator. 4 times 4.5 is 18. And then this is 4, and again, it had a 1 tick mark, which means it's 4 as well, which I also could have found because this is the same as this. So 4 times 4 is 16. And then if this is 4, so is this. So this is a 4 by 2, which is 8. So now you have all your different measurements. You have 2 triangles that are 4, and then you have your 3 rectangles, an 8, a 16, and an 18. Go ahead and add all those together in your calculator, and you should get 50 centimeters squared. Okay, so it's nice that they actually drew the net out for me, and so then I was able to just find the area and I have to add it off to the side, but I didn't have to draw the individual shapes on my own. Okay, this one, sometimes you'll notice that they give me not the measurements, but the squares that make it up on the inside. So I just count that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that has a measurement of 7. And then if you count these, it's really hard to count. Let me see really fast. It has a measurement of 9. And then from here, if you count these, which is the same as this, which is the same as this, so that's a little bit easier. If you count along these, you can see that it has a measurement of 10. So you have your front and back, okay? So you have two identical rectangles that are 7 by 10. Okay, so that's 2 times 70, which is, what's 2 times 70? If you go ahead and type that in, that's 140. Okay, and then that's my front and back. What about your left and right? So you have two identical ones that are made up by 9 by 10. So that's 90, and 2 times 90 is 180. So we did our front and back, our left and right. We're missing our top and bottom. So there's all 6 sides. Okay, so my top and bottom is 7 by, this is the same as this, which is 9. So 7 times 9. Well, 7 times 9 is 63, and you had 2 of those. So 2 times 63 is 126. Go ahead and type all that into your calculator, and you will get 446. They didn't tell me what the units were, so I'm just going to use the word units. Okay, and those were all examples of prisms. As a preview for next week, we're going to be dealing with pyramids. It's the same exact thing when you draw out your shape, except this time when you draw it, you have one base, right? And that base is made up of a rectangle, and it's a pyramid, so you know it's going to have triangular sides. How many triangular sides? Well, the rectangle has 4 sides, so 4 triangles coming off of it. Okay, and that's it. Like, that's the only difference between these, is now I need to find the area of the rectangle and the 4 different triangles. So my 4 triangles, base times height divided by 2. Okay, I have 4 of these guys. And what's the base measurement? Well, if I look back at this triangle right here, here's your perpendicular height of 12 connected to your base of 10. So it has a base of 10 and a height of 12 divided by 2. Okay, so 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 10 is 60. And then 60 times 4 is 240. So that is the area of all my 4 triangles. Now I have my rectangle. Well, my rectangle is base times height, and that is a 10 by 10. So 10 times 10, which is 100. So you have 240 plus 100, which is 340. And they didn't tell me the unit, so again, I'm just going to write the word unit squared. Notice, again, it's kind of the same exact process. It's just this time, instead of having all rectangular sides, they have triangular sides. And instead of having 2 identical bases, they only have 1 base. And it'll be obvious because it'll come to a point. So that was a little preview of what's going to be coming next time when we cover pyramids. All right, hopefully you did pretty well. Good luck, my little mathematicians.